Greetings, everyone, once more. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is the first workshop for the free Java Bootcamp, and we're getting started today. Uh, it's a bit exciting for me to get back into this kind of trainings. And today we're mainly just talking about like what computer programming is really about. We're really looking at how this Java Bootcamp even came about also. So there's not so many things to discuss on the first day, but as we progress, we're going to get into very interesting things later on. So for the first day, feel free. You can ask questions. I know that right now participants are muted, but as we progress, you can ask questions. We're going to unmute everyone so that everyone can ask questions. It's just to make things a bit more orderly at the start. So let's get started. So as you already know, it's the free Java Bootcamp. And so what is it exactly? It's just an opportunity to share uh, Java knowledge, Java skill with anyone who wants to learn for free, making Java accessible for everyone wherever they are. Uh, Personally, I started learning programming, and Java was the first language that really clicked after learning a few, even in school. Java was the first language that really was fun, and I'm happy to say that I've made quite a good living as a Java developer, and I'm sharing my experience, sharing my knowledge of Java with anyone who wants to learn, hoping that they could have this kind of moments, or that it could even be a gateway into more interesting things with Java. So this is not the first time we're doing this bootcamp. For some of you, we saw the invitations. We did mention that we had done a lot of in-person bootcamps in the past. We started about 10 years ago, 2012. So this is not the first time we're doing this bootcamp or this kind of bootcamp. But this is the first time we're doing it entirely online. So uh, it's great that we're able finally to do it. Hoping that we can reach a lot more people in the world uh, with Java, making Java accessible to all of them. So as I was saying, this is not the first time. I was able to find, just browsing the web, some pictures from past bootcamps we organized, and the first edition in 2012 was held at the University of Boya. It was a 10-day straight bootcamp. It was every single day, and it was during like school holidays, so mostly attended by students. And and if I remember clearly, at the end of that bootcamp, we built a very interesting application all together as participants. So all the participants were also beginners who were learning how to program, but then were able by the end of the day to build a Java application to manage change balance at a store using Swing, if I remember clearly. So we had that one, and the following year we had a larger bootcamp where Java was still a core part, but we also had web development, embedded systems, and so on during the following year. And the one you see on the picture right now is actually the third one. So this was actually the third bootcamp where we also introduced Groovy, which as we progress with the workshop later along the line, you're going to learn is another language based on Java, which also runs on the JVM. And so following that, we started touching other cities. So this was in Chang. We had a 3-day bootcamp there in Chang, focusing on web development and with Java and Groovy. And then this was the first batch of interns, because we took it another level with the support of the international community. After this was in Yaoundé. We decided to set up a small office where people could come and spend 2 months internships and actually work with Java every day. So this was somewhere around Acacia. This was, I think, was 2018 already. This was the first batch of interns, and I'm happy to say about 4 of them. Uh, I've worked in a company where about 4 of them later on. Yeah, as you can see this in this picture, there are two of our interns are here, and one other participant of the bootcamp of the previous years already working. They're already working professionally. And this was the second to the last time we had this kind of bootcamp. It was at ICT University, the American University in Yaoundé. And this one was just a one day workshop session. I remember we had a lot of power issues on this day. And yeah, so that's it. We've had a lot of, after that, we had some more workshops around Yaoundé, but I really didn't keep track of all the pictures and everything. But I'm trying to say altogether, we have had multiple sessions like this, but in person and in different towns traveling. But now we're trying to make it possible for everyone, wherever they are, to be able to benefit from this same knowledge, to be able to have the same life transforming experience, learning a programming language from scratch, and then be able to build things with it, whether you're an entrepreneur wanting to use it to build your own projects, your own products, or be able to get a job as a Java developer. So why did we choose Java? There are many programming languages out there, many. Java is one of the first languages to popularize the concept of WORA, which is write once, run everywhere. So, or run anywhere, that's what I mean to say. So, write once, run anywhere. Java was the first language to make it possible to easily write your code once and be able to run it on many different operating systems. The Java language itself was created for embedded systems initially, but then it went into the web and into many other things. And as you're going to realize, Java is such a versatile language for so many applications. Oracle themselves say Java runs on over 3 billion devices around the world. If you think of it, that's crazy. Do you have an Android phone? Do you have I don't even know what to, in fact, even the presentation application we're using right now is built using Java. That's Google Docs. If you have an Android phone, the Android operating system has a lot of Java. The Android applications itself is built with a lot of Java. If you have a phone even altogether, the SIM card in your phone is probably programmed using Java. As you know, a SIM card is an embedded computer. So there are many devices, televisions, fridges, airplanes. Java is used absolutely everywhere. And what this does is that it gives room for a lot of jobs for Java developers. It makes it possible for Java developers to easily find jobs in various industries. It also makes it possible for you to use Java if you're trying to bring a solution into any industry, wherever you're working, be it in healthcare, in petroleum, in education, in renewable energies. You can probably use Java to build the solution you're trying to build. So that's why we choose Java. Also, Java helps make it very easy for you to learn even other programming languages. So once you know Java, it's easy to learn other languages which either borrow from Java or just the general concept of programming you learn, the discipline you learn by using the Java programming language makes you a good programmer when you move elsewhere. The last thing I'm going to say on that, I'm just going to do a quick Google search to show us the job market, what the job market looks like for Java. So here I'm going to try to search Java, just Java. I'll search remote to say, basically saying worldwide, if location independent. And this is a very cringy kind of search query. Like, it's not ideal per se because it takes in consideration it doesn't take in consideration industries and many other things. But there already you can see that you have over 100,000 results. If before I clicked on this filter, there was a number. If you looked at it, you see, yeah, over 100,000. Oh, sorry, it reset. Let me redo that for Java. Yeah, 6,000 results. So let me narrow it down. Yeah, over 6,000 results for Java remote jobs around the world, and you can look at that. So Java is always in demand. It's always in demand. People are always looking for Java developers because it's used in so many industries. That's why learning Java gives you a head start, and the pay ranges for Java developers are also generally good. Of course, it's a senior level job, but if you take time on your own to do this research, you'll find out there are good pay ranges for Java developers compared to many other careers or many other technologies out there. So that's one of the other reasons why we choose Java. I'm just going to dive in. If you have any questions, please just note them. Like I said, we're not going to be too long for this part, and then very soon we're going to open the floor for more questions. But I'm just going to dive in at this point and touch a bit more on the core of the things that of what programming a computer is. So this particular session is on how to program, how to write computer programs, introduction to computer programming, and we're using Java to do this. So what really is a computer program, right? So when you're writing a program, I don't want to give you a textbook definition intentionally. I'm saying when you're writing a program, what are you really doing as a developer? what you are doing is you are giving instructions to a computer. And computer here is a broad term. Like I said, a computer here, it could be an embedded system inside your car, it could be your phone, it could be your laptop. So we're not talking only about laptops and desktop, we're talking about any device that has memory, CPU, and that is programmable, right? When you're writing a program, what you're simply doing is telling that machine what to do. Computers don't really know what to do. When I click on the screen here, when I click somewhere, the computer has to interpret what I'm trying to do, what am I trying to do when it clicks, and that's an instruction. So the programmer writes that instruction or the sets of instructions that says when a user clicks, do this, do this. When a user clicks here, do this, do this. Present this button, present this text, present this thing, or contact this server. That's all what computer programs do, and those are instructions you are giving the machine. So when we're writing a program, we're basically writing instructions, and those instructions are written in a programming language. So Java is a programming language you can use to write those instructions. So what is essentially we're trying to learn is we're trying to learn a language which you can use to give instructions to the computer. You can use to give instructions like transfer money from this bank account to this bank account. You can use to give instructions like print this document. You can use to give instructions like perform this calculation, draw this funny picture, do this animated video. Those are all series of instructions that we're doing, and those can be done using Java. So this is what a basic Java program will look like. It's basically, for a new person to computer programming, it looks almost unintelligible, but we're here to demystify that. We're going to make it very easy for you to understand what each of the lines in this code and in codes like this so that you can be able to write. We're going to make you understand what each line does, what each line, when you're telling the computer, this line, what are you saying? So for the untrained eye, it looks like gibberish, but it's actually very simple. And that's what we're doing in these workshops. On a series, as we go forward, we're going to be teaching and explaining each of these statements. And there's some syntax to it, there's some way of understanding this. And it becomes very easy that even when you encounter new code anywhere, even if it is not even written in Java, it'll be very much easy for you to understand what that code is saying to the computer to do. So let's look at our first Java program. If you are coding along, if you're on a computer, you can try it even on the phone, it's possible, or you can do it later. Like I mentioned earlier, this is being recorded, you can rewatch and try it again. So for this session, we're not going to install anything. We're going to use an environment that you can use in your web browser. So this app in the web browser is called Replit. It's just an app to write code in various languages. So here I'm just going to come here and search for Java. If you already have it, good. If not, you just search for it, and I'm going to say Java, and you can give it a name. So I'm just going to free Java Bootcamp, and let's say workshop 01, and I'll just create the repo. So this application gives me a basic environment to write some Java code, but this is not where a traditional Java developer writes his code every day. This is an environment to play with code, to do exercises and so on. But in a real world scenario, you are going to use another program. So going forward, tomorrow, we're going to share resources on how to set up your own computer, how to set up your environment for writing Java code. But for this exercise, we'll just look at this one. So this is a simple Java code. Again, like I said, we're going to explain what each of these words mean as we go forward. But for today, ignore everything and look at this one instruction. This is a computer program. It has 5 lines, and computer programs are formal. So Java is a formal language. So it means everything here has a meaning. This bracket has a meaning. This semicolon has a meaning. Everything here has a meaning. These square brackets have a meaning. This word string here has a meaning. And they have only one meaning. They cannot have multiple meanings. So the computer does not confuse what you're trying to say. So let's look at this one instruction here. And for now, I'm going to tell you what this instruction says is, hey, Mr. Computer, print the text hello world to the console, or print the text hello world to the standard output. In this case, the standard output is the console. So you are telling the computer to repeat something, to print out something. And you can run this program, and the computer is going to do just that, because the computer follows the instructions you give it. So this is a Java program, and it's telling the computer, print hello world. The hello world program is famous because it's usually the first program you write in any language you're trying to learn. And so the computer has run this code, and I'm going to explain how it did it in a short moment, and printed this output, hello world. Let's try something a bit more fancy, at least for day one, and tell the computer, hey, Mr. Computer, print the result of 1 plus 1, right? Print the result of this. And because it's on the web, it might take a little while. If it was directly on the computer, it would be instantaneous, almost instantaneous, because it's a very basic program. So there you have it. So the computer says, hey, the result of that thing you asked me to do is this, is 2. So we're going to learn how to write, of course, more sophisticated programs than this, but this is just an introduction. This is day one. Let's start baby steps. Yeah, again, not any questions you have. We're going to come back to it in a few moments. So the last thing we're going to discuss before we get into the questions is the compilation process. What really happens when you write this instruction? And what really happens is that that instruction is in a file. The file is a source file, a Java file. Let's just say we're calling it source.java. That file contains all the instructions. It could be many files. And the Java has something called a compiler that can compile all those files and then interpret it to give you those results. So in Java specifically, you write your code in this kind of files, and then those files are sent to something called a compiler, the Java compiler. And the compiler is what takes those files and converts it to something that the hardware can understand, something that can be translated into those electronic bits that are happening. Because at the end of the day, the machine is electrical. It's an electrical machine. It's electronic components, it's memory, and so on. So Java is a high-level language. It has to be compiled to some low-level representation that can be understood. In the case of Java, there is an intermediate component to this. So the Java compiler compiles this into something called bytecode. So let me annotate this. So the compiler, let me annotate an arrow here to show what happens more clearly. So the Java compiler compiles our code and gives us something called bytecode. This bytecode is what gives Java the power to run anywhere. Because before Java, most programming languages will run only on one system. If you wrote your program for a Windows computer and you took it to a different version of Windows or to a Linux computer, it will not work. But Java has this piece of magic here called the JVM that is present on all those computers. You are not going to need to go into in-depth on how to assemble this. When you install Java on your computer, you're going to have all of this already set up. Once you set it up, you just have to understand that what we are learning in this course is how to write Java code that this compiler can compile into bytecode that will run on the JVM. From the JVM, it runs inside the computer, and there your code does what it's supposed to do. So this JVM can run on your machine, on the phone, on the server, in the cloud, and where not. So you write your source code, it gets compiled, it runs on the JVM. So you write your instruction here, hello world, it gets compiled into some bytecode representation, and that bytecode runs on the JVM. That's the basic we need to talk about for the first day. We're going to look more in depth into this. We're going to talk more about Java history as we progress. We're going to learn more about the language. So at this point, I'm going to give the floor to anyone who has any questions about what we have been discussing so far, about what we're going to be learning, about the goals, anything so far. Any questions?
Okay, hello guys, good evening everyone. I'm Marius, and I joined a bit 1 minute to 8 p.m. and I did not really get your introduction and the company, or I don't know per se. I only came in to hear about Java. I did not really get the beginning, so I just wish to find out if are you a company or a representative, or just a senior developer willing to guide us through the journey of programming in Java?
Okay, thank you for your question, Marius. I'm just a, a guy. In the past, as we started, I don't know if you met the part where we talked about the various sessions, but again, like I said, this is being recorded. It's going to be shared for you to be able to get back that intro, that beginning. But I did say that we started doing Java bootcamps about 10 years, over 10 years ago, so 2012. Uh, the reason why I say we is because as we progress with the physical ones, the physical events in various cities, when the team grew. But at the moment, I'm just restarting this, right? Because we paused and we didn't have any events for a long while. Now we're starting, and the team is going to grow again, obviously. But at the moment, you can understand it's just one individual who likes to share his knowledge, helping others learn this thing, and that's just what I'm doing. Professionally, if you want to know about me specifically, yes, I'm a senior software developer. I've worked with Java for many years, and I've worked with other languages also. But I'm doing this really just to share this great language, this great tool, especially share programming with everyone, because before programming, I didn't know what I was going to become in life really, but it has really given me an opportunity to be my own man, to be a family man, to provide for my home, and really use the skills to make a living. So I'm just sharing it so that you could get the same benefits and also grow from there. I'll be happy to see maybe someone learn this thing, use it to build some product that becomes a big tech product out there tomorrow. And it's always going to be completely free. So that's it.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you. I just believe that as we progress, this is just an introductory part, and I do believe that as we progress, more questions will be coming up. So
Yes, of
thank
course.
you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Any other questions? We still have a few minutes to run. Yes, I think you can just unmute yourself and speak.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I'm so grateful for your efforts. I mean, this has not actually started today. That was long ago because you've always loved to build a community that, I mean, to see people grow in so many dimensions in diverse ways. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Because I remember long back then in Boya, you had to organize small boot camps on that was hardwares, using hardwares on how to, I mean, till date, you still have that spirit. I really appreciate that. Honestly, I appreciate that. And about this, I know this is kind of something you just want people to know, and you just want someone who's passionate. You want to see, make people know that this is something that people will actually make life out of it. And I would encourage everyone on this platform to invite people as well to get in here, because I believe that he's going to give us all he knows. I mean, he will make his best to give us all he knows, and I know that. And my question was this way, though I'm still newbie, though I still starting about this stuff, and I wish to find out in which domain can we actually really apply these skills after we get them. Can you apply them in diverse domains, or is it a particular domain only you must use only coding to realize something, or is it any other ways we can apply these coding skills in other domains? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for your question. Yes, learning how to program is very essential for in other domains in life, not just in writing programs itself. One of the things, for example, is going to do for you to learn how to program is that it's going to change the way you think. Because when you're giving instructions to a machine, you're actually reasoning about how the machine is going to do it. And it makes you to start thinking in your daily life in a particular pattern. That's why you see a lot of similarities and habits and characters of software developers usually. It's because software basically influences your lifestyle along the line. So that's one of the benefits. But I'm going to say, first, you'll be able to write code. You'll be able to meet a problem, a societal problem, think about what solution, what application can I write to solve this problem? What program, what mobile app can I build? What website can I build to solve this problem? That's our first goal. I personally wish to see a lot more of entrepreneurship being born out of this, a lot of people building this kind of things. Another thing is, you might not be primarily a software developer in your career, but along the line, you have to work with software developers. You might be working as a manager, you might be working ordering software to use for your business or for your daily needs. And having an understanding of how those things work internally will give you an upper hand when you are dealing with your clients, with your employees, with your partners. Having an understanding of how software works, because you eventually encounter software on a daily basis, even if you're not writing it, even if you're not looking at code. But understanding how code is built will help you if you have to buy software, you understand the value you're buying for, and so on. So there are general skills, but our ultimate focus here is someone who follows all of these workshops should be able to think up an idea, open up his environment, and write some Java code that solves that problem, learning how to code using the Java programming language. That's really our focus. So people should be able to master the Java programming language and master skills to solve problems. If you're interested in getting a Java job, yes, this will help you, because if you know how to write Java code, you're going to also be able to apply for Java developer jobs. And like I mentioned in the channel where we share announcements, from time to time, we'll actually be sharing interesting jobs that we come across in there for anyone interested. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, absolutely. That answers my question. I'm really impressed with that. Thank you so much.
Awesome. You're very welcome. Yeah,
and I wanted to find out too is in relation to something like cyber security. Can you give me a highlight of that with respect to Java stuff too?
Yes, I am not very much a cybersecurity expert, but as a software developer, you're going to get used to at least doing some level of security, because your applications need to be secure. And yes, if we start building applications that have to do with authentication and authorization and stuff along the line later on, maybe much later into the workshop, we're going to touch on some of those concepts. So being a cybersecurity expert and understanding how code is written will help. We're almost running out of time. I wanted to give the floor to one more person. Yes, you can just unmute yourself.
Thank you so much.
I wish to know, thank you very much for the presentation. I wish to know if it was said in the previous messages that if we work for at least an hour every day, we can have a very good level in 6 months. My question is, in this program, how long is this program, firstly? And secondly, we will have enough resources in the program to work at home, to work on a personal level at least an hour every day?
Yes, short answer, yes, you're going to have resources. So we're just getting started. A lot is being done. There is a web platform being built to accompany the learning. There will be a lot of exercises on there, and there will be a lot of resources being shared in general. 6 months is the average time most bootcamps take, and it's considering the average person's input in learning. Yeah, the way the program is scheduled is that we're going to do 2 months of covering some of the basics, and then 2 months into the intermediate, just like it was shared, and then 2 months into the frameworks. So if we do 2 months, by the time we're doing 2 months into intermediate, some more people will be able to restart in the next. There'll be another group. So as you see, we're not taking all the days of the week. So those other days will be assigned later on to other groups starting, let me say other cohorts starting after this. So those who miss the train. But all sessions will first be interactive like this, because we'll be writing code. And so we want the opportunity for everyone to understand as we are writing and ask questions as we are going for sessions that will get code intensive. But later on, we'll share other resources for more personal follow-up, books, videos, and especially exercises you can take on a daily basis to understand each of the concepts that we are going to be introducing in our workshops. So thank you very much, everyone. I hope that answered that question. We are 1 minute above time. I think we're going to end it here for today, and stay connected to the channel, the WhatsApp channel. There will be more will be shared in there. Announcements, links to other meetings still to come will be shared in there. So wish you a nice time, everyone. Thanks for joining, and I hope that you all become Java pros. Nice evening.